Conundrum is noun. A puzzle or problem that is difficult or impossible to solve or resolve. A situation or question that is confusing or has no clear answer. The conundrum of how to reduce our carbon footprint while maintaining economic growth is a complex challenge. The politician faced the conundrum of pleasing both his constituents and his party leaders. The puzzle presented a conundrum that stumped even the most experienced crossword solvers. The ethical conundrum of whether or not to use animals for medical testing is a divisive issue. The company's financial conundrum was exacerbated by the pandemic, leaving them with difficult decisions to make. Hubris is noun. A sense of overbearing pride or self-confidence that results in disregard for others or consequences. Excessive pride, arrogance, or self-confidence, often leading to a downfall or ignoring warnings or advice. His downfall was a result of his excessive hubris and arrogance. The nation's history was marked by the ruler's hubris and disregard for counsel. Her persistent hubris prevented her from acknowledging her mistakes. The team's defeat was due to their overconfidence and hubris. The company's downfall was attributed to the CEO's unchecked hubris. Glut as noun. A surplus of goods or materials. An excess of something, leading to an overabundance. The glut of new products on the market made it difficult for consumers to make a decision. The glut of job applicants made it difficult for anyone to find work. The glut of information available on the internet can be overwhelming. The glut of cheap goods from overseas is putting many local businesses out of business. The glut of food at the buffet meant that people could eat as much as they wanted. Apex is noun. The highest point of achievement or development. The highest point or summit of something. The apex of the mountain offers a breathtaking view of the valley below. The athlete reached the apex of his career when he won the gold medal at the Olympics. The company reached the apex of its success when it became a Fortune 500 company. The apex predator in the ecosystem is usually the top of the food chain. The apex of the pyramid is the most important part of the structure. Raft is noun. A flat floating structure made of logs, planks, or other materials, used for transportation on water. The group of friends went on a rafting trip down the river. The survivors clung to a makeshift raft for days before being rescued. The raft was constructed out of logs and ropes, a testament to human ingenuity. The children built a small raft out of sticks and twine, pretending to be adventurers. The cargo ship carried a raft of goods across the ocean. Flux is noun. A continuous flow or movement, especially of a fluid. A state of change, especially rapid or constant change. The economy is in a state of flux, with new regulations and policies being introduced regularly. The constant flux of new technology makes it difficult for companies to keep up. The flux of information on social media can be overwhelming at times. The composition of the atmosphere is constantly in flux due to various natural and human-made factors. The flux of traffic on the highway is particularly heavy during rush hour. Nuance is noun. A subtle difference or variation in meaning, expression, or tone. A subtle quality or aspect. The speech contained many nuances that were difficult to pick up on. The painter used different shades of blue to create subtle nuances in the sky. The actor's performance was praised for its nuanced portrayal of the character. The writer's use of language revealed the subtle nuances of the character's emotions. The negotiator was able to detect the nuances in the other party's argument and respond accordingly.
Maverick as noun. An independent person who does not conform to established norms or rules and is often seen as unorthodox or non-conventional. An unbranded animal, especially a calf, that is not under the control of any particular owner. He's known as a maverick in the political arena, often taking positions that defy party lines. The CEO was a maverick who made bold decisions that led the company to success. She's a maverick in the world of fashion, constantly pushing boundaries. The artist was a maverick in his field, creating work that was both unconventional and groundbreaking. The athlete was a maverick who refused to conform to the traditional training methods.
Transient as noun. A person who stays only briefly in a place. A traveler or visitor. A temporary or brief existence or occurrence. A passing phase or state. The hotel provides accommodations for transients. The shelter offers services for homeless transients. The city has implemented policies to assist transients. The park ranger informed us about the local transient population. The police are aware of the transient community in the area.
Corollary as noun. A logical consequence or an inference drawn from a main proposition. A proposition that follows naturally from a proven statement. One corollary of the new law was an increase in taxes for businesses. A lack of exercise is a corollary of a sedentary lifestyle. The corollary of increased competition in the market was a decrease in prices for consumers. The principle of supply and demand is a corollary of the free market economy. The corollary to the rise in popularity of e-books has been a decline in sales of printed books. Curmudgeon as noun. A bad-tempered, difficult, or surly person. A person who is persistently ill-tempered, grumpy, or irritable. My grandfather can be a bit of a curmudgeon, but deep down he's a kind and loving person. The old man who lived next door was a grumpy curmudgeon who never smiled or said hello. The teacher was known as a curmudgeon who was strict and inflexible with his students. The author's character was a curmudgeon who was always complaining and finding fault with everything. The restaurant's head chef was a curmudgeon who ruled the kitchen with an iron fist.
Imponderable as noun. An intangible factor or variable that is difficult to quantify or predict, such as human emotions, attitudes, or opinions. Something that cannot be weighed or measured, often referring to abstract concepts or intangible qualities. The coach struggled to prepare the team for the imponderables of the upcoming match. The scientists were unable to account for the imponderables in their research findings. The success of the expedition was dependent on how well the team could handle the imponderables of the terrain. The investor was hesitant to commit funds to the project due to the imponderables in the business plan. The explorer was well prepared for the imponderables of the jungle, but still encountered unexpected challenges. Derelict as noun. A person who is homeless and lacks a permanent dwelling or support. An abandoned building, property, or ship. He lived like a derelict, panhandling for change and sleeping on park benches. The city condemned the derelict building after it was abandoned for years. The old shipwreck remains a derelict on the beach, rusting away in the salty air. The neighborhood had become a derelict place, with empty lots and boarded-up storefronts. The authorities removed the derelicts from the park, where they had been camping illegally. Chauvinism as noun. Belief in the superiority of one's own group. Excessive or aggressive patriotism. His chauvinism made it difficult for him to work collaboratively with women colleagues. The company's culture of chauvinism was criticized for its lack of diversity and inclusivity. The politician's chauvinism was seen as a hindrance to passing policies that benefited marginalized communities. The coach's chauvinism towards male players caused him to overlook talented female athletes. The comedian's jokes were criticized for their chauvinism and perpetuation of harmful stereotypes. Anathema as noun, a formal ecclesiastical curse invoking excommunication, a thing or person that one vehemently dislikes. Racism is anathema to a just and inclusive society. In many cultures, eating pork is considered anathema due to religious beliefs. In the scientific community, plagiarism is considered anathema due to its violation of ethical standards. For some people, the idea of working in a cubicle all day is anathema to their sense of freedom and creativity. In certain political circles, compromise is seen as anathema to one's principles. Torpor as noun, a condition of apathy or sluggishness, a state of mental or physical inactivity or lethargy. The heat induced a sense of torpor in the hikers. She felt a sense of torpor after the heavy meal. The cold weather brought a sense of torpor to the city. The medication caused a feeling of torpor in the patient. His depression led to a state of torpor that he couldn't shake off. Credence as noun, belief or trust in the truth or reliability of something, the quality of deserving belief or acceptance. The statement was given credence by the fact that it was backed up by multiple credible sources. The new theory gained credence among scientists after being tested and proven through experimentation. The lawyer argued that the defendant's testimony should be given no credence due to his history of lying. The success of the startup company gave credence to the idea that innovative ideas can lead to success. The popularity of the book series lent credence to the notion that young adult literature has a large and loyal following. Sangfroid is noun, composure or coolness, especially in difficult or challenging situations, often in a way that appears calm and unflustered. Maintaining a sense of calmness and self-possession, even in circumstances that might evoke stress or excitement. Her sang-froid during the emergency situation calmed those around her. Despite the chaos, she maintained her sang-froid and kept a clear mind. His ability to act with sang-froid under pressure made him a reliable leader. The leader's calmness and sang-froid reassured the team during the crisis. He handled the crisis with remarkable sang-froid, never displaying panic.
Qualm as noun, a feeling of doubt, uncertainty, or uneasiness about the morality or propriety of a particular action, decision, or situation. A sudden attack of doubt, fear, or misgiving, especially regarding one's own actions or decisions. He had a qualm about taking the medicine without consulting his doctor first. The politician had no qualms about lying to the public to gain votes. I had a qualm about breaking the law, even if it was just a minor infraction. The teacher had a qualm about grading the students unfairly and made sure to be objective in her assessments. The journalist had a qualm about publishing the controversial story, but felt it was important to expose the truth. Celerity as noun describes swiftness or speed in accomplishing something, quality of being quick or fast in action or movement. The emergency response team acted with great celerity, arriving at the scene within minutes. The company completed the project with remarkable celerity, delivering it ahead of schedule. The military operation was executed with celerity, catching the enemy by surprise.
The driver navigated the winding road with celerity, demonstrating exceptional control of the vehicle.
The athlete moved with celerity on the court, displaying incredible speed and agility.
Ready to boost your English? Meet our vocabulary app, the fun and effective way to master the language. Books learn advanced words with examples and audio. Direct hit master idioms, proverbs, and phrasal verbs. Video game enjoy quizzes, flashcards, and pronunciation tests. Glow showing Europe, Africa translate into 100+ languages. All in one app. Did you learn new words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Download now and start your journey to vocabulary mastery.